are you going to get your next customer, your next lead? This is by far the biggest problem that coaches tell me they have when they're building their coaching businesses. But when I actually dig into their business a little bit more, I see that the problem is a lot deeper. The reason they don't have leads, the reason they don't have sales is not because they don't have good content. It's not because they don't have a big enough following or they don't know how to sell clients. It's because they don't have a good offer. After working with over 1,200 coaches, I can confidently tell you this is why 95% of coaches do not get their businesses off the ground. You could have the best lead generation strategies, the best sales strategies in the world, and it simply won't work if you don't have a good offer. So if you're building your coaching business and you don't have the leads and the customers you want, this video is going to be for you. I'm Xander Fryer, and look, I've been there. I quit my corporate job to start a life coaching business 7 years ago, and I struggled for months to figure it all out. Now, once I learned how to structure an offer that people will actually want to buy, I was able to build a multi-million-dollar coaching business, and I was able to share that process with over 1,200 coaches to help them build six-figure and even seven-figure coaching businesses as well. So today, I want to talk about what an offer is. I want to talk about how to structure an offer to get your prospects to stop scrolling and actually pay attention to you and want to work with you. And I'm actually going to give you a ton of sample offers that you can literally steal right now and apply to your coaching business to help you get your business up and running fast. But first, I want to share a quick story with you. Now, this is John. John was a client that we worked with. Now, he'd been wanting to get his coaching business up and running for more than 7 years, right? Now, John had all the expertise, all the skills. He'd been to every Tony Robbins event. He'd studied all John Maxwell's trainings and done his certifications and everything like that. But he could not get his business off the ground for 7 years. And it was simply because he had an offer, a similar offer to most coaches start off with, something along the lines of, I help you live your best life or something like that. So he might have gotten a couple of low-paying clients here or there, but he was never really able to make more than like 100 or 200 or 300 bucks in a month or something like that, right? Now, when we helped John iron out his offer, now he does peak performance for property developers, right? Literally within 4 months, John was able to get his business up and running and have his first $30K month. Here he is having his first $30K month, charging $8,000 per client, right? That's what's possible when you get a proper offer, right? Now, like I mentioned, your offer is one of the most important parts for generating leads and generating sales. Dan Kennedy, who's one of the best online marketers in the world, says you could have the best lead generation strategy, the best sales strategy, and still get no clients. It's the offer, stupid. Right? Good offers open up conversations. Bad offers prevent you from connecting. This is literally the difference between having a business that can scale and a hobby that might occasionally pay you. Right? So the first thing that I want to walk through with you guys is the fundamentals of understanding what makes a good offer. Now, there's 3 key components to what actually makes a good offer here. Okay? The first key component is what you're passionate about. What you're passionate about. Obviously, as a coach, we want to do things that we love, we're passionate about, right? The second key component is, what you're good at, right? So the second key component here is what you're good at. And the third one, this is the piece that most coaches forget. What people will pay for, right? This is one of the biggest pieces that most people forget. Now, here's what happens. Most coaches focus on what they're passionate about and what they're good at, right? And they end up in this section here. And this creates what we call a hobby. If you focus on what you're passionate about and what you're good at, but you forget what people will pay for, you end up with a hobby that might occasionally pay you, right? So that's not what we want. Now, some people focus on what they're good at and what people will pay for, and essentially they accidentally build themselves a 9-to-5. They basically build themselves a prison, right? Because it's what people will pay for and it's what they're good at. But if they don't have any desire behind it, if they don't have any passion and purpose behind it, you're going to burn yourself out really quickly, right? And then one of the last mistakes that you can make, one of the last mistakes that you can make is you can focus on what you're passionate about and what people will pay for. But if you're not good at it, nobody's going to really pay you a lot yet. But you can learn the skills and get better so that eventually you get what we call the trifecta. right? This is what we're looking for. When it comes to building an offer, it needs to be something that, number one, you're passionate about, number two, you're good at, but number three, people will actually pay money for, right? That is the biggest thing that coaches forget when they're designing offers, right? So let's talk about it, guys. When you're designing your offer, very simply is something like this, right? I help blank do blank. I help avatar and then the desire you fulfill or the problem you solve. Now, I'll give you an example, right? Our offer at High Impact Coaching, I help coaches build profitable businesses, right? It's simple, it's clear, it's concise, it's in your audience's language, and here's the kicker. It's in 10 words or less. If your offer is longer than 10 words, it's too long. We live in a society where you don't have more than like half a second or a second to grab people's attention. So if your offer is more than 10 words, you've lost people, right? Now, the purpose of your offer, aka your niche, your USP, what you do. Good offers simplify messaging, they simplify your content, they simplify your decisions, they position you as an expert with focused expertise, and it makes lead generation easier for you because it opens up conversations. Basically, everything in your business gets easier when you have a good and clear offer. Now, why do coaches suck at this? And trust me, coaches do really suck at this, right? Number one, you think your offer is about you and what you want, right? Now, we actually all have two offers, and I want to clarify here. If you were to ask me, if you were to ask Xander, what do? I'd say, honestly, I'm in the business of changing the world and frankly, saving the world. I seriously believe that. I believe that I am in the business of changing the world and saving the world. I believe that I'm building an army of conscious leaders and warriors, people that are living more from a place of love and growth and purposeful action and less from a place of fear, right? And I truly believe that if I can help 1% of the world live more from a place of love and growth and purpose and less from fear, we can actually solve a lot of this world's problems. But did you notice that's not my offer? That's more of my mission, right? That's my offer for myself. It connects deeply with me. But we actually all have these two offers. One's your offer to the external world, and one is your mission that's for yourself. That statement that really drives you, right? So it's really important to distinguish what is your mission versus your offer. Your offer is what you take to the world. Your mission is what you keep for yourself, right? That's number one. Number two, coaches tend to overcomplicate things, right? They try and sound smart and explain the how to stand out. This is your ego talking. Your ego tries to explain the how to make you sound smart and give yourself self-worth. But the best offers we've ever seen are super cliche. They're super simple. I'll show you some here in a second, right? They're really not that smart. They're done in third grade language, right? And thirdly, you communicate from your viewpoint, not theirs. Now, coaches spend so much time clarifying themselves, right? Now you think it's all about what you want, and we use coaching language, right? Have you ever noticed that your offer includes a bunch of jargon that no layman or normal person will understand, right? So we communicate from our viewpoint, we communicate with our language, not theirs. But the truth is, guys, when you're building a business, it's to solve a problem other people want solved, not the problem that you want to solve for them, right? So, lastly, a reason that coaches suck at this, well, you get stuck in your own head, right? You fear judgment, you fear criticism, so we start to play small. Like, I can't say that, right? Here's the deal. If you want to be a coach, you have to be a leader. You have to stop playing small. You need to take a stand. You need to make a big, bold claim. Think of any leader out there that you've ever wanted to follow. They take a stand. They make a big, bold claim, even if it's scary. So if you want to be a coach, you have to be a leader. You have to be willing to do this, right? Now, some more common pitfalls that we see from coaches when they're trying to create offers, right? I hear this all the time, from thousands of coaches. I want to help people blank. Again, we cannot create an offer from what you want. It's about what your audience wants. It's what they want help with. I want to help people blank. Well, is that what your audience actually wants, right? That's another big mistake. Number two, not fitting concretely into one of the big three, all right? So the big three offer categories in the coaching space are health, wealth, and relationships, right? Now, if your offer does not fall concretely into one of the big three, most likely you're gonna have trouble getting it up and running. But Xander, Tony Robbins can sell things like Unleash Your Power Within and Awaken the Giant. I hate to break it to you, you're not Tony Robbins, right? You're not Brene Brown, you're not Gabby Bernstein, you're not these people, right? They have been in the industry for decades, right? So people are actually just buying Tony Robbins. Whatever he sells, whatever his offer is, they're just buying Tony Robbins, right? But Tony Robbins has been doing this for like 40 years. By the way, do you know what Tony Robbins' first offer was? Tony Robbins' first offer was actually in the mental health space. It was helping people overcome phobias and quit smoking through NLP. Right? It was very concrete. He did that for years. He made his first millions doing something concretely that fell into the mental health space and physical health, if you count the smoking one. Right? And then the last thing to remember when it comes to offers, what works within your sphere of influence will not work outside of your sphere of influence to a broader audience. Right? So if people know who you are, they'll just buy you as the coach, even if your offer sucks. But if you want to scale beyond you, you have to have a really good and clear, concrete offer. This is also one of the reasons why Tony Robbins can sell whatever he wants, because everybody knows who Tony Robbins is, right? His sphere of influence is so big now, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want to help you create an offer right now. So here's what we're going to do. Step one, I want you to start by thinking of the one person that you want to help the most. Not a group of people, but one single person, right? Give them a name, give them a sex. How old are they? Are they single? Are they married? Do they have kids? How many kids? How old are their kids? What's their job? What's their financial situation? Where do they live? And how do they feel about their health? How do they feel about their career? How do they feel about their relationships? Right? Now, I want you to think about this person very clearly. One person, what is their biggest fear at night? In their words, not your words, right? Because remember, as a coach, we have a different viewpoint. We have a different perspective. We use different words. What is their biggest fear at night? And what is their biggest desire? Be specific, be concrete. The more specific and the more concrete, the better. Right? Now, once we have this person, you're going to take that person and you're going to answer these three questions. Number one, who is your target market in 1 to 3 words? Who is your target market in 1 to 3 words? Is it men? Is it women? Is it the LGBTQ community? Is it coaches? Is it real estate agents? Is it corporate professionals? Is it moms? Is it dads? Teens? Who is your target market? 1 to 3 words. What is the problem that they want solved? 10 words or less. Notice how I'm not saying the problem that you want to solve for them. It's what is the problem they actually want solved? 10 words or less. And what is the concrete outcome they want? This should be something that's actually measurable. Now we're going to take the answer to these three and we're going to combine them into one short, powerful phrase. Remember, thanks to social media, you have like 1 to 3 seconds to grab attention. I actually think thanks to, TikTok and IG Reels and all that sort of stuff, you have like less than half a second nowadays. So you need to lead with strong language. It needs to be 10 words or less. It should be simple. It should be concrete. It should be specific. Cliches are actually good. Think about it, right? Why are cliches cliche? Because they work, right? And it should be in 3rd grade language. It should be in very simple language. Right? Coaches love to overcomplicate things and use a bunch of fancy language that nobody understands. That's why nobody's watching your content, right? It should be tangible, touchable, measurable, okay? Now, to give you some examples, right? To give you some examples, these are some offers that we've worked through with clients, and we've had coaches build 6-figure, multiple 6-figure, even 7-figure businesses from these offers. And I want you to notice how simple they are. They're all less than like 8 words. How clear they are, how cliche they are, how 3rd grade languaging they are, right? How measurable they all are, right? I help women lose weight for good. I help coaches build profitable businesses. I help new managers become great leaders. I help women heal Hashimoto's naturally. I help real estate agents build 6-figure pipelines in 6 months. I help corporate professionals find careers they love. I help men overcome stress and anxiety. I help new parents not F up the first one. Right? You can see how simple they are, you can see how clear they are, and you can see how they're very much aligned with speaking to the client and what it is that they want, rather than the deeper problems that we know as coaches we really need to solve for them. Once you have an offer, you'll want to start sharing it with as many people as possible so that you can actually start getting on calls. So what I want you to do next is I want you to check out this video where I share the 21 different ways to generate leads for your coaching business, all right? See you there.